no idea how we're going to start this. How about this? We fade to grey. You fade to grey. We fade to grey. She was the most powerful woman in Britain.
Don't talk wet.
She was wonderful. Look at all the wonderful things that she did.
You been on some sort of pharmaceutical drugs?
How did you guess? So, Theresa May has decided to, well...
No, she didn't.
Tender resignation. Basically, she wanted to stay, didn't she?
Yes.
And why did she want to stay?
To continue screwing the country.
Woman that walks a negative path. Because there was a chap, and we've got him here as well, Sir Graham Brady, who's there you go, who's also running for her job. And he's the boss of the 1922 committee.
So what's that got to do with her?
Who's in charge of the country?
Well, it's supposed to be this thing.
But whatever she said didn't really get done, did it? She sold lots of weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of weapons. And now let's go over the wonderful things that people have been talking about that she actually didn't do anything. So, there was the Grenfell Tower.
Yeah.
And then there was the Windrush scandal. That was Amber Rudd. And she didn't get penalised. She got an even higher paid job, didn't she?
Yes. Oh, no, she got kicked off as a minister, and then 6 months later she's put back in a better position.
Yeah. Theresa May, this wonderful woman, and you've seen me kiss this woman before on the newspapers and spit out the bits, and I'm not going to eat the newspapers today. Okay? They're crocodile tears. Go on, put that picture up.
A weep is a long time in politics, but there's no tears.
No tears. It's like a Jeremy Kyle contestant, you know, when they're lying. And they go, and they look up like this, and Jeremy goes, yeah, that's brilliant. You can tell you're lying. There's no tears. How can you cry without any tears? But that's what that woman, and I use those words very loosely,
and I concur,
is doing. So, who's been in charge of the country? It seems like the 1922 committee has been in charge.
Well, though, we need to look at who's in charge of the 1922 committee, because although he's supposed to be in charge of it, I have a feeling that somebody tells him what to do and what to say.
Well, they're all paid and bought for, aren't they, by the corporations?
Yeah.
I mean, she probably works for Lockheed Martin,
GlaxoSmithKline,
Pfizer, because they're all bought and paid for. So, who are we going to choose next? I've got one for the next PM.
Yeah.
Your mates. How about him?
Well, he would fit in really well because allegedly he is a paedophile.
And he could probably... Well, just going over some of the things that Theresa May, I forgot to say, Treasonous May, who has actually committed treason, shouldn't she be in the Tower of London?
Oh, yeah.
So, you also remember she protected all the paedophiles, both in Parliament.
Yes, and lost the dossiers that were handed to her.
Really? What a great job she did. She really is fantastic, isn't she, Salon?
Oh, she's top marks every time.
Welcome to the KaK M Show, everyone.
And, there's another wonderful thing that she tried to put through. Lower the age of sexual consent to 5 years old.
Yes, she's...
and people are feeling sorry for her. Oh, I love her so much. She's done such a wonderful job. In fact, apparently she's been the worst Prime Minister that we've ever known.
And the fourth shortest term in that dictatorship job.
So who is going to fill the dictator's shoes? So let's think. What kind of characteristics do you have? What unique characteristics do you have to be a prime monster?
Well, you've got to be a liar.
Well, let's have a look at some of the contestants while you've...
The contestants? It's a game show!
Yes,
oh, you're all invited to watch!
You're having a party. If you'd like to grab the other side...
But you've got to pay for the party.
So, you can see what wonderful contestants we've got to choose from here, and they are cracking set of bastards to choose from. One bastard leaves and another bastard comes in. Just fills the shoes of the previous bastard that was in the same socks before.
That one sentence is going to mean I've got to beep it four times at least.
Decimation! Follimation! Number 10, you see. 1 and 0. None and nothing. So, let's have a look. What have you got
compare.
Let's compare. All right, we've got Boris Johnson.
A renowned liar.
Serial liar! Ex-Bullingdon Club. Mate of Tony Blair's. Right, psychopath. Fumbler, mumbler. What else?
Serial wife swapper.
Oh yeah, he's had plenty of mistresses as well.
To be fair, I can't fault him there. You know, if he wants a different woman now and again.
Well, he's such a good-looking bloke that's, you know, got a great physique.
Yeah. They look. The first thing the women do is look at him and think, "Oh, he's gorgeous. He is
gorgeous, like Theresa. Gouge eyes out, Theresa. Excuse me. Right, the next contender. I don't know much about Dominic Raab, so we'll leave him out.
Well, he'll be a liar.
Do you know anything about him?
That's just standard rules for the job. You've got to be a liar. If you can't lie, you ain't going nowhere.
Well, what else have you got to do? Because Theresa sold billions of tons of weapons around the planet.
Yeah.
Whenever she visited Saudi or China or stuff, she's selling weapons. So you've got to be able to be a weapons salesperson.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's proven that when he was
Boris Johnson,
Home Secretary.
He was Foreign Secretary, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was it.
And he sealed the deal with the Saudi royal family. Ex-Jimmy Savile's Prince Charles. Nobody's a prince, really. We're all princes. Mates.
I'm king.
So am I.
King.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got Michael Gove now.
Another liar.
Now, what did he used to be in? Seen as disloyal after knifing Boris Johnson at the last leadership contest. Hated by teachers during his time as Education Secretary. Oh, he was Education Secretary, was he? You've seen his eyes pop out his head like this.
So he's responsible for all this transgender stuff that's being taught in schools and all this, right, we're off to a mosque today. I don't care if you're Christians, we're going to a mosque.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you've got there.
And then we've got the most evilest, horriblest see you next Tuesday on the planet.
Well, the
unless
next one...
you haven't finished on it with him, of course.
Jeremy Hunt. Mr. Huntley. Jeremy Hunt.
Well, he was a health secretary, wasn't he?
And he used to wear a badge on his lapel saying NHS.
Yeah, and he's managed to dismantle that. In fact, didn't he write a book, How to Dismantle the NHS?
Well, they took all the funding from it and nurses were committing suicides. So not only have you got to be...
Well, actually, this leads into other subjects as well, because what he did is he made sure that the nurses actually got lower wages so they could then bring in foreign nurses on higher wages, because it's all part of the bring the immigrants in, let's get this country invaded to the point that the indigenous people are outnumbered.
If you say so. Still big enough planet. But there was another thing that he did. He lied also. These are all serial lies, especially Boris Johnson. He said that he was going to make sure that there was funding and backing for the NHS. And then
knifed us all in the back and lied again.
And they cut all the funding to the NHS. But the grants went out to the highest bidder for all the things that they used, the pharmaceuticals and all the instruments and everything. The next one we've got is this chap here who's got the same hairdresser as yours truly. Okay. Sajid Javid.
Now, of course, although he got into the position that he's in now, which is it Home Secretary?
Yeah.
He got into that position on the back of the Windrush scandal, didn't he?
Yes. He's actually a son of immigrants himself. I guess that's why they put him there.
But he also voted with the rest of them to keep the Windrush scandal hush-hush.
Yes, of course.
And yet he got the job afterwards.
Well, you've got to be a liar to be a contestant for this job. You know, these are the beasts in leadership. They really are beasts. And then you've got this new fella, Matt Hancock, and I reckon Hancock has probably got a good job about it. It's actually got a better chance than the rest of them. Enthusiastic and fizzing with ideas, he is viewed by the leading candidate as the Tory moderator. I've got the speech bug again. digital superfan, so be a friend of your favourite stuff, 5G.
Oh.
Give me 5! Give me 5!
G. No.
Give me 5! We don't do that American thing. So yeah, he's digital superfan with eye-catching ideas such as his own app. Okay.
What? KaK app?
Youngest in cabinet at 40. Yeah, KaK app. He'll be real, because as I say, one bastard leaves, another bastard fills the shoe. So he'll make an absolute up.
Again,
But a cock up.
It's like
And his cock and their cocks will all be up your asses. Sorry about that. Because it's been like that for 100 years, hasn't it? Plus, it's been 1,000 years with the church. We've all had their cocks up our bottoms.
well, they're all perfect. It's like but
Perfectly lunatic, insane.
it's quite simple. There's your choice. You've got a few outsiders as well.
Oh, Esther McVeigh. Look what she.
Oh yes, she's a murderer.
She's the work and pension secretary.
Murderer.
Yeah, like Ian Duncan Smith.
Yep.
Amber Rudd.
Another murderer.
Well, when there was scandal and stuff, people committing suicide, weren't they? Amber Rudd, who's Theresa's mate, she won't run for that. And the Penny Mordaunt, who's the new ex-magician's assistant, newly promoted defence secretary. Right? Because this is what you need. It's not defence, it's offence. All of these missiles and weapons and tanks and bombs and guns and weapons of mass destruction that these beautiful bastards sell around the planet, they're supposed to be our servants, weapon sales personnel. There's nobody to... Please, I apologise,
You're going to get the choice of the lesser evil.
I bet that's Kevin. He always disturbs us when we're having a rant.
It is. Hey up, Kev, you're in the middle of a video again.
You're on the KaK M Show, Kev.
You're not back yet?
Not yet, no.
Alright, cut me out then, edit me. Cut. Alright.
We'll leave you in.
See you in a bit.
See you later, Kev.
Don't talk shit though, will ya?
Oh, we're talking a load of bollocks today, mate.
We'll have to take you for a tear up.
You'll hear yourself on YouTube tonight, Kevin.
Oh, lovely. You too. Jog on.
Jog on.
Thank you. We're doing a special about the beasts that are in contendership for the next leadership of the UK PLC.
Oh.
And we've realised that they've got to have certain psychopathic tendencies, like they must be a serial
Compulsive liar, yeah.
They must be able to sell weapons.
They must be able to cover up paedophiles.
Yeah, they must be able to, well, amongst other things.
Free electricity, free gas.
Oh yeah. Oh, and they must all at least own a house close to Parliament that they rent out and then claim expenses on the house and also hotel room because they're renting their house out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've also got to do these satanic sexual ritual death cult things that they do when they go over to the dark side.
Yes.
So I reckon Penny Mordaunt's going to get it, because that's who we're talking about at the moment, and she's ex-magician's assistant, and she's magicking weapons out of General Dynamics and Lockheed Martin and stuff at the moment. She has a long association with the armed forces. Right, and she will be mates with the Saudi royal family. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put an end to this KaK M Show now.
An end.
And what we're going to call it?
The KaK M Mac.
The KaK M Show.
Interrupted by Kevin
Yeah, we don't mind being interrupted. So what do you think to it all, Kev? You know, who do you think's going to be the next prime monster?
Well, I reckon Boris.
Boris, ex-Bullingdon Club.
Yeah, Boris will get it.
All right, mates with the
Etonian.
Queen. Mates with Prince Charles.
Mates with Cameron.
Used to be mates with... they were all mates with Jimmy Savile.
Oh, yeah, today as well, Blair's on about going for leadership, but for the Conservatives.
Well, there is no difference between them after all, is there?
Blair, the parliamentician, the murderer, the liar.
Mass murderer.
Well, he's got the qualifications for it.
Anyway, finish your video.
Okay, thanks.
I want the fish cake and chips. All right.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
see you in a bit.
Enjoy yourself, Kev. Nice to hear from you.
Jog on.
We
Ta-ta.
are.
What time are you going to be back?
About 5.
All right.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh. Money back if there's another effing election this year. Oh,
So-
it's Paddy Power, it's the bookies.
So at the end of the day then,
Yeah, the bookies there, look. For vote for Boris.
so at the end of the day, you're voting for the lesser of the two evils.
Well, basically, we know that registering to vote is giving your consent to them doing whatever they like anyway.
Just being on the voters' register is doing that.
Okay? Well, I don't subscribe to that.
And
No.
voting is
Tick
pointless.
the box which says no thanks, and then they want your name. Are you asking me to commit criminal fraud by providing you with something which does not belong to me?
Yes.
Because, well, not only is it not worth even registering to vote, there's nobody to vote for, because they're all exactly the same as what came before. And government's not working, is it?
And big parties like Conservative, Liberal, Democrats, Labour, whatever you want to call them, they're all names that just mean enslavement, really.
Con is deception to serve. Conservative, deception to serve. Labour, look it up, toil and trouble.
Yep.
Right, and Liberal, give you a little bit, keep the rest for ourselves and our mates,
And then take it back off you with the other hand.
with tax.
Yeah.
So, government, whoever you vote for, same thing. Government wins. And government's not working.
Governments have never work. All that governments ever do is think up new ways to steal money off us in the form of tax. And as for that value-added theft, well, that's one of the biggest thefts against the British public, or well, I guess the whole of Europe, that's ever happened. Because now, that chocolate bar that used to cost you £1 is going to cost you £1.20 because you're getting extra value by giving us 20p of it.
And by the way, there will be no Brexit. We've said that all along.
Never going to be.
Never gonna happen. If it does, I'll eat my hat.
And this all this bullshit now. They're going to have an election now, which will kick the can down the road further. So we don't get to leave Brexit, don't get to leave Europe until never really, because it gets to 2020 and the Lisbon Treaty kicks in, and we're all tied in.
I've got my eye on you.
All
And do you know whose eye
seeing.
that is? You know when I ate the paper a few months ago? It was Theresa. That's Theresa May's eye.
He's been
And
keeping it.
I spat it out. I wouldn't recommend eating that.
But he wouldn't mind kissing
Seriously, how does a husband have sex with her?
it. He doesn't.
I guess they just order out for takeaway.
Yeah. Send us some kids round.
So anyway, everybody, it's not worth registering to vote, and there's nobody to vote for.
Yeah.
Do you know I was watching a TV program from the 80s, and we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? And there's this- And at the end, they were in Ecuador, and they captured all of these criminals that were basically they were a bit like the government. They weren't treating people very nice. They were lying to them. They were raping them. They were doing all sorts.
What do you mean a bit like the government? That sounds exactly like the government.
Well, yeah, they're like bandits, psychopathic bandits.
Government, definitely.
Shit, that's what government is.
Yeah. It's a mafia. And
It's a dictatorship.
yeah.
And they were telling these nuns and everybody else what to do. You know, they obey us. And there was children there, and they were obeying them as well. And they were drinking all their wine and getting. That sounds just like governments. These were Ecuadorian bandits, like guerrillas. Anyway, along comes Face, Murdoch, Hannibal,
BA.
and BA, like BA. You're looking at me, fool. And anyway, they eventually capture all these bandits and this government that was dictating them.
Murdoch was my favourite.
I liked them all, actually. And they go back into the town and they ask for the police chief. Where's the police chief? And he says, now we need some good people to run the town. And I think, did he take his badge off him? And he went,
Yes, he did, yes.
who would not? First of all, do we have any people that won't lie to everyone? Do we have any honest men and women? Do we have any good people that won't be dictators? Because if you are dictators, we'll come back and get rid of you. And the four guys goes, we'll be deputies. We'll look after the people. We won't lie to them. We'll make sure that they can farm the land and do and everybody gets what we leave them. We'll live in a paradise. So Hannibal says, right, there you go. You can run the town. And if you mess up, The A-team.
I'll be back.
The A-team are going to come and sort you out. Y'all hear it? So, who's to vote for?
No one.
The eyes, the all-seeing treasonous.
Like I was saying, if you're voting for the lesser of two evils, you're still voting for evil.
Aye, aye.